What if I told you that the biggest trap in trading, it actually has nothing to do with your strategy?
See? Your strategy? It didn't stop working. You just, you started listening to everyone else. Okay, so let's dive into the first part of this whole mess. It's this downward spiral of doubt that I like to call the comparison trap. And I'm willing to bet this whole scenario is going to hit pretty close to home for a lot of you. All right, picture this. You've done all your homework, right? You get into a trade and you've got a super clear plan. Your entry point is marked out perfectly. You've got your protective stop set. You know exactly where you're going to take profits. Man, you feel confident. You feel totally in control. And then it happens. The price just dips a little bit. Just a small pullback against your position. And just like that calm confidence, it starts to waver. And this instinct kicks in. What do? You open up Twitter, you jump into a Discord server, you shoot a text to a friend. So you start scrolling, right? And the very first opinion you see is some guy saying the price is about to completely tank. But then you scroll 2 posts down and someone else is absolutely convinced it's about to explode to the upside. And, just to top it all off, some guru with a massive following posts this super detailed chart that argues the exact opposite of what your trade is doing. And that's when you feel it, isn't it? Your chest kind of gets tight, and all that conviction you had, poof, it just evaporates. The doubt just starts to creep in, and it's whispering that absolutely devastating question. What if they see something I don't? That feeling right there, that is the trap. That's comparison. And let me tell you, it has completely taken over and replaced your actual analysis. And it just spirals so quickly, doesn't it? It goes straight to, why does everyone else sound so much more confident than me? Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. So the big question is, how do we break this cycle? Well, it all starts by understanding the massive, crucial difference between a real plan and just an opinion, between a clear signal and all that noise. Look, let's be brutally honest with ourselves for a second. If you ever find yourself scrambling for outside reassurance after you're already in a trade, the hard truth is your trade was never fully planned to begin with, period. Because, see, when a setup is truly structured, you've already got your non-negotiables locked in. You know precisely where you're wrong, that's your risk management. You know exactly where you're taking profit, that's your target. And you know what price action completely invalidates the whole idea. Somebody else's opinion, it doesn't change those predefined levels. It just adds noise. But this actually goes a lot deeper than just having a flawed plan. There's a really fundamental mistake that happens mid-trade, and it's just silently destroying your edge. The real mistake is this. In that moment of doubt, you outsourced your responsibility. Think about it like this. On one side, you've got clarity. That's just you and your plan. Simple. You know your levels, so your execution can be calm, it can be deliberate. But the second you add someone else's bias into the mix, you get noise. Now it's your plan plus their bias, and that just creates a ton of internal conflict. And what does that conflict do? It creates this super predictable domino effect. First comes hesitation. And hesitation, especially in a fast-moving market, almost always leads to mistakes. So see, the loss isn't really coming from the market, it's coming from you diluting your own process. Okay, all right, enough about the problem, right? Let's talk about how to fix it. Let's build the solution. Here's a framework you can use to create the discipline you absolutely need to protect your edge. So the key mental shift you have to make is this. Do all your learning, do your research, listen to what other people have to say, but do it all before you put your capital on the line. Because the moment you enter that trade, the outside world needs to go silent. Your only authority, your only reference point is the plan, the one you built when you were objective and rational. So here it is. Here's the practical tool. It's just one question, but you need to ask it before every single trade you take. And that question is, will I need reassurance if this pulls back? And you have to be honest with yourself. If the answer is even a maybe, your plan isn't ready. It's not complete. It means you haven't fully defined your risk or you don't have enough conviction in the setup. So don't enter the trade. Go back to the drawing board, tighten up the structure, and only get in when the answer to that question is a confident, solid no. Hey, do yourself a favor and save this explainer. You can come back and revisit it right before you place your next trade. And make sure you follow for more simplified trading concepts just like this one. That way, you can stop thinking that trading doesn't work and finally start understanding how to make it work for you.